Hello and welcome to Spargur Yarn Crafts. My name is WSpargur. I am your host. I am coming to you from Henderson, Nevada. And yes, I have changed locations again because my roommate Delilah and her parents did move out and moved to Texas. They made it there safely and they are out living their dreams. They're originally from Texas, so I'm happy for them to be back. I now have a new roommate. His name is Peter. He's a co-worker, and because I only have one roommate instead of three now, I got to move up to the upstairs bedroom, and the room that I was sleeping in is now the craft room. So I've got yarn and shelves of yarn above me, and I've got my sewing table here beside me and an ironing board, and we moved the second sofa in here so that I can sit and relax and knit and craft away to my heart's content. And also the dogs really like it as well. I don't know if you can see them, but they are there. So if you are new, thank you so much for joining me, and if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. It means a lot. So normally I would break up these videos into my different sections, like works in progress, finished objects, sewing stuff, and I'd break those up throughout the week so that you could have shorter videos. However, it has been very difficult for me to get in here and film. A lot of that has more to do with my mental health and less to do with anything else. It's just been a very tedious effort to get in here and to get in the right mindset to be able to film one of these videos. If you want to skip ahead to the knitting stuff, I normally do kind of my life updates at the end, but I'm going to cover a couple things here at the beginning. So if you want to skip to the Yarny and fiber related stuff, the timestamps are in the video description box below, so you can skip ahead. The only reason I'm covering this at the beginning is kind of to explain a little bit of my absence, because normally I post quite a few videos a month, but I'm kind of down to one right now. Yeah, so I've just been struggling a little bit with my mental health, and it's just been kind of difficult to get in here and film. And then on top of that, it looks like I may be having some health issues with my mom, or my mom might be having some health issues. So that's a little scary. My mom is being tested for what's called multiple myeloma. If you are unfamiliar with multiple myeloma, it is an aggressive blood cancer. We don't know for sure that that's what she has, and if she does have it, it's not quite to multiple myeloma, it's more of the precursors. But we're unsure. We know that she hasn't had a heart attack. What we do know is that there's a lot of calcium in her blood, and that calcium should be in her bones. So that's a little scary, and a lot of things are kind of up in the air. There's a possibility that should things end up being the worst case scenario, that I will go back home at least through New Year's, and I don't know what kind of filming capabilities I'm going to have while I'm there, especially since the purpose would kind of be just to spend as much time with my mother as I can. So yeah, that's kind of been on my mind a lot lately, and there's been a lot of things in that realm that it's just been difficult to deal with, and because of that, it was difficult to get into the mindset to get in front of a camera. And the reason I'm doing it today is because, one, I really just felt like it was time to get back in front of the camera. I miss doing this. I miss showing you what I'm working on and interacting with you all. So I felt like it was time. And also just, I don't know, doing this channel is kind of a motivation for me to work on a lot of things. It gives me kind of that drive to work on different projects and to kind of push myself to complete a lot of these things that there may be times when I would get halfway through something and I just wouldn't want to finish it, and I might not actually enjoy, I wouldn't get to enjoy the finished object if I didn't, have that drive to finish so that I could show you guys. So that's another reason I wanted to get back up here in front of the camera. Another thing I want to do real quick is thank our sponsor. Lolo Body Care is doing a sponsorship for this video again, so I really want to thank them. I love, love, love her products. They are so wonderful for your skin. I think I have just about every product they make. They have deodorants, lip balms, facial moisturizers. They've got a foot moisturizer. They've got soap, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful line of products. So there's a link in the video description box below for the products that they're featuring this month, so you can click down there and go check those out. If you haven't tried Lolo body care products before, they are absolutely worth it, and on top of having a great product for your skin, you're also supporting a small business, and you're supporting a small business who is trying very hard to work on their sustainability efforts for the planet and making the planet a better place and saving the planet while we're at it. So if you go to their site, you can read their, what do they call it, manifesto, a mission, value. Anyway, you can read their commitment to sustainability on their website, and I think that is an awesome, awesome thing that they do. So check that out. And again, thank you to Lolo Body Care for sponsoring this video. With that said, I'm going to kind of do things in a little different order this time. Normally I start with my works in progress and then go into finished objects into sewing, but because my room is a little bit... well, it's a little bit of everywhere. So I'm just going to kind of grab what is near me. It may be a work in progress. It may be a finished object. It's kind of going to go all over the place. And that's because I'm still getting used to this room. Okay, so let me just grab the first thing that's in front of me. And this is a project I was working on actually like 10 minutes ago. So this, I'll show you the pattern first, and I apologize, of course my printer only does black and white. This is called the Eyes on You Shawl, and again, sorry, black and white, but it's kind of one of those short row projects, and it's all in garter stitch, which is why I love it. So, you know, it's really easy to just mindlessly knit this, as long as you're paying attention to your short rows when you get to them. But this is designed by DJ Logan, or DJ Knit Designs. You can find this on Ravelry. It did take me a little bit to find it. I was actually gifted this pattern by a friend. It is on Ravelry. If I remember in editing to add the link, I will have the link in the video description box below. If I forget it, somebody please let me know so that I can add it. But this uses 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn, and I am using, well, first let me show you how far I've gotten. I am using, well, okay, so here's how far I've gotten so far. And so we've got my main color, which is this darker with the purples and orange, and then I've got my second color, which is the orange and white. There's enough of a contrast here that I think it works out well. So these are both my hand-dyed yarns, Spargur Yarn Co. The bottom is Let's Get Spooky, and the eye here is called Smash-O-Lantern. So here's Let's Get Spooky. I know, I've got a really bright light. And then here is Smash-O-Lantern. Again, because I moved, I'm still working on the lighting. I forgot that I have a light behind me, but not in front of me, but this is the best orientation. And my dogs are wrestling. They're having a great time. Anyway, so, again, all garter stitch, and I really love the way that this is knitting up. It's an asymmetrical shawl, lots of fun short rows. They use the pattern is written with wraps and turns. I don't like wraps and turns, especially because in this one you're supposed to pick up the wraps, and I'm terrible with that. So I'm using German short rows. It's a great substitute. I think it works perfectly well. This, again, it's my hand-dyed, and I'm doing this, I don't know if you can see the halo, but I'm using... it is a fingering weight yarn. It is a single ply. It is 56% merino wool and 44% kid mohair. So it's a wool mohair blend. It's very soft, very nice halo. And even though I feel like it's a little thinner than fingering weight because you can see kind of right through it. I am using the recommended needle size. This, it has a really nice halo, and it's really soft when knit up. I don't like it is a little rough when I'm knitting with it, but not so much that it's a problem. But I am really enjoying this so far. It's a great mindless knit for when I want to watch my documentaries. I'm watching a great series that I found on YouTube. It's called America Unearthed, and it's about a geologist who uses kind of the skills of his trade to kind of solve, like, right now he's solving a bombing in Chicago from like the late 1800s, during some labor riots. It was a cold case, and I have no idea if they're going to solve it, but they, at least at the start of this episode, they had no idea who threw the bomb. So he's using kind of geology to kind of come at these mysteries from a different angle. It's a really interesting show. It's not like National Geographic level, but it's interesting. So anyway, so that's a great knit for that. Let's see. Next thing that's right here is I finished a hat. This is a worsted weight hat. Wow, that light is really bright. This is a worsted weight hat. It's a helix. It's kind of hard to see the helix with the colors that are in here. But it's very much a beanie. It works for my head even with my ponytail, which is getting longer, slowly but surely. I kind of forgot all of the information for this. I forgot what I was knitting it on. I have no idea what the yarn is. I know that it's worsted weight, and I know that I had to kick myself in the pants to try and get the decreases to work, and I don't even know how well you can see that because the light is so bright. So yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of info on this. I might have to re-knit it just so I can tell you more about what I did. But it is a cute little helix. I might do this in a solid color so that it's easier to see. It has been blocked. I would knit it a little bit taller next time just because I like the slouch, and I would probably add a pom-pom at the end. And I did do 3x2 ribbing because this is a multiple of 5. It's 105 stitches, I do know that. And yeah, so lots of fun. It was a really interesting, trying to get the decreases was a really interesting process, and I should explain more about that when I try to knit this again, because I really did enjoy how I put this together. But yeah, fun little hat. Okay, so another little finished thing is I made some pumpkins. This is a free Yarnspirations pattern. You can find it on yarnspirations.com. This is using Comfy Cotton Blend from Lion Brand, I think. Nice navy blue color for the stem. I actually went outside and just grabbed like a little stick to stick in the top. I have made 3 of these in various sizes, and they are on a table runner that I also made, but I forgot to grab. There's 2 table runners I've made that I didn't remove from their various places, because they're my decor currently. So I did make a few of these. Very simple crochet. You really just need to know how to single crochet and double crochet, and do your decreases, your single crochet and double crochet decreases. So it's a really simple pattern, a lot of fun. You do need some polyfill or various stuffings to fill it out, but really easy pattern, a lot of fun, definitely worth the free pattern, and the pattern has 3 sizes written in it, and then from there I think it's pretty intuitive to kind of make various different sizes. It's a really simple kind of repeat or pattern, so if you wanted to make a really big one, it should actually work pretty easily if you just kind of follow the same formula. And let's see, what's next? I finished this bear. This is using Karen Latte Cakes in the colorway Blueberry. And this is my pattern that I wrote. It's this bear. So It's a little smaller. The Karen Latte Cakes is a little thinner, but it is the same pattern. I did modify a few things on it as I was making this one because I wanted to make the ears a little different, and I decided to use larger eyes than I had on the original one. And I just love using the latte cakes because it actually is pretty fuzzy, and I think that's a lot of fun. So this pattern is available for free. You can find it on Ravelry and on Ribbler. Ribbler is open to the public, by the way. That link will be in the video description box below if I remember in the middle of editing. But yes, that is also available on Ribbler. So Ribbler and Ravelry, he is called Fuzzy Wuzzy, and he's absolutely gorgeous. I think latte cakes is a great option, and I also think maybe if you held a mohair, like a lace weight mohair with a plain worsted weight, you know, to give it a little bit of depth, you could make one that's not machine washable, but you could make one with your more luxury wools if you wanted to, if it's just going to be a display item like mine is. 4.5mm hook. I would recommend anywhere between 4 and 4.5. You could do a 4.25 if you wanted. The eyes are 16mm safety eyes. The nose is a 12mm safety nose, and of course you will need polyfill. So if you remember, I made this bear a while ago using Spargur Alpine, and he is knit faux fur. Very, very cute. Well, I decided to use that pattern to knit using Bernat Velvet Plus from Michaels. I knit the same exact bear, and this guy is so soft and cuddly. I will be keeping him forever. He is mine. This was a really great pattern. I knit this in a day. I made this whole bear on a Sunday using just the Spargur Alpine teddy bear pattern. And I thought I had that pattern. Yeah. So the Spargur Alpine pattern. It's written for faux fur, but again, because it's knit, you can kind of use whatever yarn you'd like. I recommend something fuzzy to kind of hide the stitch work because there are places, especially for mine, because it says increase purl wise, and I'm like, no, I'm just going to do a knit front back because it's fuzzy. You're not going to see it. If you do use a regular yarn, you'll want to follow the instructions as they're written. That is a paid-for pattern. It's $5. I knit this on whatever the recommended needle size was for the yarn, which I think is 11, a US 11. I have more of the yarn somewhere, just not in this color. I just actually don't know where it is right now. But so cute, so cuddly. I actually do intend to knit more of these, and I'm thinking about opening my Etsy shop back up and selling some of these, as well as some of the other things that I'm going to be showing here in a second. God, he's so cute. Ugh. I love him. Okay. Now, another work in progress that I have at the moment is one you've seen before, and this is actually going to be a little problematic to show because I'm on the section that's currently using 2 balls of yarn. So I'm on the brioche section of the star flanket. So I finished these rows, and now I am on the brioche. I've got quite a ways to go. The brioche does take a little bit longer. There are so many different yarns in here. I'm knitting this on US 5s. Pattern originally is written for DK weight. I'm doing fingering weight because I have a lot of it. And I don't really have much else to say about it. It's just, you keep working it in the round. I definitely encourage you, if you haven't done a Stephen West pattern before, I really encourage you to try one. He does a lot of really cool techniques and a lot of things you don't really think about sometimes in terms of knitwear design. So if you haven't, I really encourage you at some time, like even just browse the patterns and maybe find one of the more simpler ones that you like and save it in your library for later, and, you know, just give it a try sometime. I've knit a few of his patterns, and I really like the way that they work up. I know I'm not touching on some of these a whole lot, mainly because I have a lot to get through, but also because I've talked about these quite a bit, and I don't really have a whole lot new to add to the older things. But I do want to get to some of the ones that are a little bit newer and that I'm really enjoying working on. So the last work in progress that I have right now is my Namu sweater. This is designed by my friend Yura. You would know her as Knit Boop on Instagram. And this is a beautiful, beautiful cabled sweater, which you can see more of on Instagram. I don't know why this is actually kind of hard to see the cables here. But this is a very, very beautiful sweater pattern. Unfortunately, it is a little small. Again, of course it is, because I don't gauge. I am up 2 needle sizes from what she wrote the pattern for. She calls for US 6s and 7s. I am on US 8s and 9s, and it's still too small. Even though my bust is only 1 inch bigger than the one I'm knitting, I thought if I went up the needle size that I wouldn't have to knit the next size up. Anyway, it also has not been blocked, so the cables are pulling in a little tightly. I'm doing this again in my own hand-dyed yarn. This top one here is Grape, and this bottom one here is an early, well, these are both early versions of Midnight. No, I did not alternate skeins, and no, that does not bother me. When I knit things, I don't intend for them to look store-made or machine-made. I intend for things I make to look handmade. I think the beauty is there, and I think having something handmade and having this difference, first of all, it looks like a really nice stripe, and second of all, it kind of looks faded in, so it really does, it looks good. But I like things to look handmade. To me, that shows the beauty of what you did. Now, the pattern calls for a 1.5 inch collar of twisted rib. I hate wide collars on sweaters. I think they are annoying. They just rub up against like here, especially because this one isn't knit to where the back is a little bit higher, so the front gets pulled up instead of sitting down a little bit lower. So I knit a 3-inch collar so that it would hug my neck exactly where I want it to. It's almost like a mock turtleneck. This is a top-down raglan. I am ready to start the sleeves. I'm going to do short sleeves on this sweater because I live in Vegas and I would like to be able to wear it more than just 1 or 2 months out of the year. There's a beautiful cable pattern that goes down the tops of the shoulders and sleeves, and then it is actually continued here on the side of the sweater, on the other side of the seed stitch here. And then, of course, plain stockinette. I just love this. This is absolutely gorgeous to me. I really do love this. I love this difference. And it's actually not that prominent in real life. The camera does actually add a little bit more detail. But this is just gorgeous to me. I love it. I have finished the bottom. I've just folded it up because it's on this mannequin. So I will be working on the sleeves. I should have this done in a couple of weeks. I'm very excited to finish it. I actually only need to go about this far on the sleeves, so it really shouldn't take me that long. In total, I have only spent about 2.5 weeks working on this sweater. So it's a very quick knit, very enjoyable knit. After a while I did memorize the cable pattern, so that was really nice. If you want to see more pictures from this sweater, go to my Instagram. That link is in the video description box below. You can see more close-ups of the cable pattern. Again, this is in my hand-dyed yarn. This is on my non-superwash base, so this is a non-superwash sweater. This will be the first non-superwash sweater I've ever knit. I'm very excited about that. And hopefully after I block it, it'll fit a little bit better. Either that or I really just need to watch what I'm eating, because I did eat an entire pack of lemon Oreos in like 2 days. So it's probably me. Okay, so the last thing I kind of want to show is I have been working on a lot of sewing stuff, and that's because I learned how to free motion quilt, and I'm very excited about that. But the first thing I want to show, I did not do free motion quilting on this, but I did take it's a fat quarter pack, and I made a set of placemats and napkins. So these are just a set of placemats. They've got plain backing, just a plain red back. They have been essentially quilted, and so none of them match because it was, again, a fat quarter pack. So that's green with mooses. Then black, very similar to the white one, and then the red with mooses, or meese, or moose. But then they also have matching cloth napkins. It is a set of 4. I thought this was a lot of fun. And so I made that set. I'm either looking to sell them or maybe I'll keep them because they are really cute. Along that line, I did make these are similar but not exactly the same. These are more fall. You can see that I did change up the order of the colors a little bit. But I was doing this to kind of mostly test like what kind of quilting did I like for these. Did I like something more simple, or did I like outlining the seams on both sides? So that was a lot of fun. I will probably just keep these as a reminder of what I did. I kind of like both, actually. Then I have this, I have 2 of these hedgehog placemats. And this one I did with just a backing that's got a bunch of different colorful like tracks. And as you can see there, this is free motion quilted. I did learn how to do that on my machine. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on the front. I did use a thread that kind of blends in a little bit. But I did free motion quilt these. Again, I have 2. I got these as remnants at Joann's. So these are very, very cute, a lot of fun. This was my first free motion quilted project, and I'm so thrilled with how these turned out. So free motion quilting is definitely going to be a thing in my future. And with that being said, I made this hexagonal. It's a table. You would set it at the center of your table, and again, this has been free motion quilted. I'm trying to use the shadows to show you that I free motion quilted it. But what I love about this, not only being assembled the way that it did, this is using jelly roll, and not all of a jelly roll, just 5 strips from a jelly roll, the 5 different patterns. But what I love that I did with this is that I made it reversible. So there's Christmas on the back side. And so you can use this more than just 1 or 2 months out of the year. You can have it out for your Halloween, and then obviously I don't have Thanksgiving on this. My idea would have been to do Halloween and Thanksgiving and then like Christmas and New Year's, but I didn't have jelly rolls for that. So this, to have Halloween, and then you can flip it over and use it for Christmas so that it becomes dual purpose. I love that. And again, free motion quilted, very simple. I used fusible fleece for the batting because the only cotton batting I have right now is for actual quilts, and I don't want to cut that up right now. I've been doing so much sewing, and I've been enjoying the crap out of it, and now I'm just wanting to sew everything under the planet, and I'm thinking about a new machine now. I noticed that Mr. Domestic got a brand new Janome machine, and I know that Janome has been doing some activism work recently, and it's something that I support, and also because I don't want to shell out thousands of dollars for a Bernina. But I've heard a lot of good things about Janome, and I think they're in a little bit of a better price range for me in the future. But anyway, it's something that I'm looking at, something that I'm thinking about. I'm really enjoying a lot of this sewing. I want to do more with that. I have some beautiful prints that I'm looking at using very soon. So yeah. I think that's everything I have for this episode. I really want to thank you guys for joining me again, and I'm so sorry that I haven't been around, and I have no idea what the future is going to hold right now, but hopefully things will go well, and I will be back here sooner than later. Again, I really want to thank our sponsor for this video, Lola Body Care. Give them a look. Check out their products. I guarantee you're going to find something that you absolutely love. So check them out, and again, thank you to them. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, weekend, evening, day, whatever time this is that you're watching this video, and I will see you again as soon as possible here on the Spargur Yarn Crafts channel. Thanks. Bye.